Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Three of Swords, and I'm seeing Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So, generally, when this is coming out, it's like something has happened. You may feel on guard because of that. Three of Swords is an experience that we have where it's like we feel hurt in some way, or there's something that we're like suffering through currently, something along those lines, or something that had impacted us in a way that may still be sticking with us. And then having Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck can be like, I'm closing myself off because of this. Because like when I was open, like I got hurt before. It can be that sort of thing. It looks like this has to do with something can be going on that's reminding you of a situation where you felt like you were showing up, or you gave, or like one of the people, right? Because it's more about like the archetype of this rather than just somebody's on one side, somebody's on the other side. A person on one side felt like they showed up and they gave 100% and didn't necessarily feel like the other person did that. And so I'm seeing there be like a wound that's associated with that sort of thing. It's like a lack of reciprocity. And I'm seeing there be anxiety about it. And here we have the Five of Swords. So someone's like, I've gotten hurt before when I've showed up and given 100%. And so now I'm in a spot where I'm guarded with how much I give. But it's not in a way where it's like somebody having healthy boundaries. This is in a way where somebody's heart is closed off because they don't want to get hurt. So this is somebody feeling scared. This is somebody feeling like they're not safe. And so their ego is popping up and being like, I'm not gonna like play nice with you. Or it can be like, I'm not gonna cooperate with you. It can be that sort of thing. But it's all fear-based. That's where this is coming from. It's where it derives from. I'm hearing derives specifically. From pain. So this is just a manifestation of that. So there could be an opportunity that may actually be reciprocal, but because of what somebody went through, they're feeling guarded and may not be open to it because of that. They may not feel ready. This is somebody not feeling like they're in a healed space right now. Well, at least within this moment, right? Can vary from moment to moment. The opportunity. You see how this person, for some of you, this person is checked out. This can be you too, though. You see how this person is looking at that? Five of Swords is like, is this a threat? Is this a danger? When it's really like, you don't know what this is. There's a lot of potential here. We're going to find out what's connected with this. But I am seeing Five of Swords pop up because it's like, you know, I've been hurt before. I've been hurt before. I've shown up before. And I felt like I wasn't valued. Or I was taken advantage of, you know? Like, feeling like your kindness was taken advantage of. Or feeling like you really did give 100% and the other person didn't. And because of that, because Six of Pentacles is connected with it, it's like feeling like somebody didn't see your worth. It's like that sort of a wound that's associated with that. And having Five of Swords pop up, it's like, I'm protecting myself to make sure that that doesn't happen again. But it's like, would that be happening within this situation? What if it's a situation where things actually are reciprocal, but because of somebody feeling guarded and having their heart closed off, they're like not even giving this a chance? So it seems like that's what's coming to light here. And like, if that's what somebody wants to do, then so be it. But sometimes we do that and it's like, well, if I had known that that was a safe situation, like maybe I would have shown up differently, you know? So that's what it feels like this is about, why this is coming to light. Because you may immediately look at something and feel suspicious of it. And it's not because there's anything wrong with this Ace of Wands, but because of you having like a wound that's associated with a situation that's coming up or could potentially be applied to it, maybe. Being in a space where you're like feeling really, it feels really suspicious of this. I don't know if you're like completely shut off to it or like closed off to it. Is it too soon to clarify? Let's see if we can get more. Maybe this is going to motivate you to like properly check this out, like to not write it off or to not like let it in, but to actually take the time to be like, is this reciprocal? Like, would this be worth my time? Can we get anything to clarify, Ace of Wands? This has to do with somebody reaching out to you. They want to connect with you. Somebody, they want to work something out with you. Or work on things with you. Something like that. Anything else? I am seeing the sun. This would potentially be something that you enjoy doing or felt happy doing, but I'm seeing there be like a lot of anxiety. I'm hearing the word misery connected with this person, but that's not to say that that's what's going on now. Just to clarify. Ooh. I'm seeing there be like a lot of intense feelings here, but sometimes it being like, this doesn't feel like a good type of intense. Like I feel like I'm really struggling at times. So yeah, let me say this. Well, we're gonna tell this story from the narrative of the person that's like really identifying with the pain that they experienced in the past and feeling like this situation that they're in right now is triggering like a remembering of that, okay? In the past, you experienced pain. It was because of there being like a difference with the reciprocity, meaning that ultimately you felt like you were not valued in the ways that you wanted to be. You felt like this person like didn't see your worth and maybe felt like taken advantage of because of that, or just like not seen because of that, you know, like not treated how you wanted to be treated. And so I'm seeing you be in a protective space because you're like, not on my watch is that going to happen again to me. And I'm seeing there is an opportunity that's coming up for you. And if this hadn't been something that you went through, or if this had been something that you worked through, you may be more open to this situation. But this is kind of showing that this is something to still be working through because it's not integrated. So it's basically like shadow work that's popping up for you here. Now let's see more about this. It seems like it has to do like with this person reaching out to you, because I'm seeing them try to, they're like, hey, you want to like plant this tree together? And you're like, last time we tried to plant a tree together, you forgot to water it and I had to do all of the watering. Like you feel like this person didn't show up. You're like, basically your karmic test right now is to do the healing work and to integrate this and to also use your discernment as well, because before things could have been going on that could have told you that that was going to happen, and because you didn't want that to be, you could have been like, every time a red flag popped up, you would like pluck it and like put it under the, sweep it under the rug, you know? So this is also a lesson about you using your discernment too, because when you really are paying attention, like things don't necessarily surprise you, you know, not this type of stuff. It's things that you end up seeing where it's like, oh, they were like low-key telling me the whole time, but I just wasn't paying attention because I wanted them to be able to show up. And then when they don't, we feel hurt about it because we had different expectations that we were sort of like projecting onto this situation and hoping that be the case. So now, instead of being on that end of the spectrum, you're like over on the other end of the spectrum, where it's like, even if it would be something potentially that I'd enjoy, I'm like keeping myself closed off to keep my heart like safe. because you don't want to get hurt again. So yeah, this is your work to be integrating right now, but that's the block that you're facing. It's associated with the pain. It's difficult, but I'm seeing a lot of work that you've been doing. You may feel like there's a bit of a barrier though. You could be like, I feel like I can't get past this. Like I can't get any further. But I'm seeing a lot of work that you've done. Maybe you're going to prioritize, I don't know, something about this. Figure something out. Yeah, it feels like this thing that you've been working on and you're like stumped. But you're not going to be. I'm seeing you're moving. So whatever wall that was that you felt like you were hitting, I'm seeing you move out of that. But it was something that had you caught up. You're moving into a cycle that's gonna, basically what's happening is that part of this cycle is gonna be concluding and it's gonna be shifting into something else. Because I'm seeing even something that was starting to feel a bit dreary as far as like this thing that you've been working on. You've been putting like a lot of your time and energy into this. I'm hearing constant. You've been putting a lot of your time and energy into this like recently. Not only recently though, but it's like one of the things where you're like, recently I've been spending a lot of time doing this, but this could be something that you've been doing for like a while now. But regardless of how long you've spent doing it, it's something recently at least that you've been doing here. And what I'm seeing is that there's a part of this cycle where you were like, this is so tiring. I'm having a really hard time breaking through this. Like that part is going to be closing off and ending. And then I'm seeing you shift into the Knight of Wands, which means that basically there's something here that is going to, it's like inspiration. It's going to ignite inspiration. That's what I'm seeing is happening. So where before you were like, I feel like I can't get past this, I can't get past this. Something that needed to close out is closing out so the energy can shift. And I'm seeing that when that happens, the energy that you come out as is the Knight of Wands. So this is you feeling like very, very motivated to then move through things. But that's not how you were feeling before, because in the middle of this, I'm seeing you feel like you really get slowed down, but almost like it's not your choice. It can be like, I can't figure this out, or like I'm really just not able to get through this. I'm having a really tough time. And then I'm seeing that cycle close out. And sort of when you're reborn into the next part of this, I'm seeing you have like, your battery is like fully charged again. And you're ready to go. But it was a challenge to get to that point because I'm seeing you felt so run down because of what had happened before and like the pain of what had happened before, that like sort of trying to like pry the heart open or like thaw it out after all of that. It was, it may have felt like near impossible, but I'm seeing you do that. So you're opening your heart back up fully. what do we have here? I'm looking at the moon. So, cycle closes out, which means that you go through this like mini death, right? And when you're reborn, the energy that you come out as is the Knight of Wands. And so you're like gassed up and ready to go. What's hidden is that there's a really big win here for you, is what I'm seeing, but you don't know this yet. Like, you wouldn't be seeing this yet. So me saying that, you'd be like, what is she talking about? But what I'm seeing is that there's like a really big win here. You just, like, you haven't seen it yet. But I'm getting this be important. It's a big deal. And it's something that you're going to be really, really happy about. Love being the bearer of good news. So you being in this, like, very, I'm hearing functional attitude, you being in this space where you're really connecting with yourself and really just on board to sort of like move through what's popping up. You being in that space, what I'm seeing is that even though you can't see it yet, because it seems like you sort of change form, and when I say change form, I mean like you shift to channel an energy that is connected with the Knight of Wands. So this is you connecting with like your passion and your inspiration, what drives you, what motivates you, like how you want to express yourself and exert your energy, and just like the thing that brings color into life for you. So it's like doing things that you like those things, you know, like it doesn't feel mundane, it doesn't feel boring, you're like excited about things. It's like that sort of, or you just feel like inspired, or there's like this sense of motivation that you have now that maybe you didn't have before, like morale, like it's that type of thing that gets you like amped up to go do something. So I'm seeing, like, I'm not seeing anything situationally, I'm just seeing your energy change into that. So it like transitions into that. So that's what you're channeling. And this is a very like can-do attitude as well. It's like, okay, like if I want that, I'm gonna go after it. Or if that's exciting to me, like I'm gonna like play with that, or I'm going to immerse myself in that, or I'm going to interact with it. It's like that sort of thing where somebody's like, think about fire. It's like, I want to get in there and I want to see what's going on, and it's a very like moving and shaking type of energy. So you just pop up within that after closing this part out over here. And I'm seeing like you just being in that energy. What you don't know is that there's like a huge win for you, and two, I'm seeing that because you're in this energy, it makes you more open to basically that's something that's becoming available for you that you're going to be really ready to take on. And I'm seeing this be something that's like, this is a fresh start type of thing. But I'm also seeing you feel very confident about the way that this happens. Like, one, there's a win here, and then also having the Fool next. It's like you're sort of thrown into a situation. If you could think of like any of the cards that the Knight of Wands would want to, or that the Page of Wands would be wanting to step into, because this is feeling like I do want to go this way. I do want to participate in this. It looks very much like that because of being in that energy. Whatever this is that is presenting itself to you, you're like in exactly the right type of space to be entering it. It's like you have exactly the right outfit on to do this job, essentially. And I think that you feel encouraged, because sometimes the Fool card, when it comes out, it can feel like kind of daunting. But it seems like something really positive and encouraging happens like right before. And so you're like, of course I got this. Of course I can do this. Like, of course I'm ready for it. It's like that type of thing. So even though we start off in a place where it's like there's some massive pain that's being addressed here. It's like massive pain, massive wounding, massive healing. It's like that type of stuff. Even though we're starting off in that spot, where we end is the wanderer. So that's there being like a cleansing basically that's going on, and you getting to this point where you're like up and ready to go. It's like you got the best night's sleep ever, that you're fully charged, and also that you're excited for like what's to come and what you're gonna do that day, like metaphorically speaking, but maybe also literally too. And I'm seeing the High Priestess here as well. So this is you also feeling like I'm connected with myself. I'm connected with my higher self. I feel like I'm getting the messages. I feel like my intuition is letting me know what's going on. So there's this like line between the two of you, like your human and your higher self, that I think is also bringing a lot more confidence to you as well. Like you really trusting yourself too. This feels like a big thing for you, allowing you to go into this situation more confidently. And I think too that like some of the lasting anxiety is sort of coming to an end, so you can really get this thing started and actually feel like this is genuinely like a new start for you. So I'm seeing that basically the barrier for you getting on this path was the pain and needing to work through that, needing to integrate it. So that was like the karmic test that you were going through. I'm seeing there be reciprocity with what it is that you're currently doing. And this is something that you've been doing. What I'm seeing is that what was hidden was the Five of Swords. So this can be like, I'm closed off, but I'm not even realizing that. But then I'm seeing it move out of that and move into Six of Wands. So it goes from feeling like you're sort of backed in a corner to then feeling like you won the race. And I'm seeing there be like a very quick transition where that happens. And then I'm seeing this opportunity pop up for you, which at first you may look at and feel a bit dubious of it, but then I'm seeing sort of the doubt come to an end, like that closes out, and then I'm seeing you ready to go. So this is what's happening here. I'm looking at strong Pisces energy. It's the only major arcana we have here. And I'm also looking at the High Priestess, which feels like a Piscean card to me as well. It also represents the moon. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.